it in your eyes. If you didn't invade, didn't pillage, whatever would you do?
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of PvP Talk. You know what, guys? Sometimes we tend to forget, especially us, the long-time invaders, tend to forget how it was when we first started invading. How chaotic it was, how scary it was actually, and how much adrenaline it put into your body when you first invaded someone and tried to win with all cost. Just you didn't know anything about the builds, anything about how the invasions work necessarily. So in this episode, we're trying to relive that feeling a little bit, and I'm doing level 16 invasions. The story behind this is I was started to work on my Faith invasion build that I mentioned in the last episode, and I thought that, hey, I'm gonna make this build. It's gonna take a little while to finish it, so why not use the kind of the meantime in there to make a little bit special PvP talk episode. So I decided to use the equipment that I got until I got to level 16 and start invading a bit and do like a kind of a different episode of kind of low soul level invading and kind of relive this freaking randomness. You don't have any like good equipment, you don't have a build basically, and it's gonna change the invasions a bit. These invasions are going to be for the lack of the better word, a little bit derpy. So yeah, excuse me for that, but there's some limitations you have to deal with. You don't have any rings. I think only ring that I have on is the blue tearstone ring and the silver serpent ring. So yeah, that tells a lot about my so-called invader build at this moment. I have Astra's straight sword +2 and, well, the basic starter cleric stuff that the cleric class starts with. So yeah, this is what I'm dealing with here, and right off the bat we have Choosy 2 versus 1 situation going on in here. And this is the only invasion on the High Wall of Lothric actually. The invasions after this are going to be on the Undead settlement. But I got one off here, and booyah! I killed the Phantom, get to kick off the shield from the host, repost him, Lloyd's him, and go to town. Nice. And because all starting invaders are edgelords, I had to point down in there. Oh man. Juutas the Edge Master. But yeah, as you see here, I'm on the Undead settlement now. Also, if my speech is a little bit even more confusing today than it is on other days, it's caused by alcohol. I'm a little intoxicated at the moment when I'm doing this commentary, so I hope you don't notice it. Probably face palming so hard after I upload this and listen to my own talk, but hey, it happens. People get drunk. It just happens to every one of us. Well, not everyone, I cannot speak for everyone. I'm a dumbass. But yeah, here I find a lone host with a scythe, great scythe. But this was truly an interesting thing to do. And I actually do this pretty often on my new builds. I invade a bit when I get those cracked red eye orbs and eventually get my full red eye orb. I like to do these very low level, low equipment, early equipment invasions, and these are usually pretty interesting. I find a lot of interesting fights when doing this, so it's definitely a whole another aspect to invading when you don't have like an invader build. You're not prepared yourself, and your opponent is on most cases not prepared for it either, because the High Wall of Lothric and the Undead settlement, people are not expecting to get invaded. Although when I started this build, a couple of Twinks build actually invaded me, and you know, I like to get invaded, but those Twink builds are just stupid. Like, some people have gotten like the end game stuff and stayed on level 1 and just leveled it up like once. and you're gonna deal even damage to them almost, and it's just not my cup of tea. Like, people can have fun on different ways in these games, but when I invade, I try to be at least somewhat fair when I invade on lower levels. Fair to a certain extent, at least. It's hard to explain, but what's the point on invading with a build that that cannot even take damage, basically, from a low level host? It doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, here I'm kind of searching for the host and his possible phantom. So I sped up this footage because it took a long while for me to find them. I kind of tried to look with the binoculars through this kind of cage door. But no dice, no dice. I have to make my way back. I hope this doesn't make you nauseous when the footage is sped up like this. They killed the Holy Knight Hodrick, so I know that they are on the other side of this area. So here the footage is on normal speed again. I checked with my binoculars to see what kind of guys we're dealing with here, but unfortunately the range of the binoculars isn't enough and I can see the host of the Phantom. But I know that most of the players open this shortcut when they get here the first time, so if they die to the boss, they can actually make a safer way back to the boss. So I just position myself in here. I cut the footage forward a little bit here for like a couple of minutes when I was waiting here, and then they finally make their way to the door. And I get my perfect opportunity, but I fuck it up. I fucked it up, guys. I'm sorry. I know that would have been so juicy, especially after like running around so long time trying to get these guys, but well, that happens. Not all the cool stuff is meant to be. I stocked up on some fire bombs because you can buy them at this point of the game. Didn't make an awful lot of use of them, to be honest. At least on this invasion. But thank goodness for the Cleric starter miracles. I get a couple of free heals in there. Nice, nice, nice. Also, I have the Force in there, and I tried to use it a couple of times on this session, but I didn't really make it work, to be honest. I hope when this build is eventually finished, I'm actually trying to toy around with the Force a little bit. I have always loved Force as a spell, but I don't know how well it works on Dark Souls 3 because I'm a complete Faith noob in this game. I have no fucking idea what to do with Faith builds in this game. So this is gonna be a whole different thing for me too. When this build is ready, you're gonna see this on full action. What I can do with the build. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but hopefully it works out fine. Here a nice chunky parry on the blue. I think this is a Fashion Souls blue. Panic rolls off the edge, that works for me. Get that forked pale tongue and that sweet Estus. And now we only have the host to deal with in here. But yeah, why I'm creating this build is that I realized that when I use the same build over and over again in these PvP talk episodes, it's gonna get a little bit stale and boring. So even though I think my Invader build, the other one with the bow and hidden body and yada yada yada, is pretty interesting build. I think it's an interesting build to watch. I'm confident about that, and it's a fun build to play with as well. But I don't think it it's more interesting when I switch around the builds a little bit, but I'm enjoying low-level invasions so much at the moment that I just needed to make another build. And here, while I was talking, I actually finished off the host. But yeah, a couple of future episodes are probably gonna be this build mainly. I'm trying to finish this as fast as I can. I originally wanted to make it so it's like soul level 35 or something around that area, but I quickly realized that's not gonna happen. I cannot keep a Faith build that low. Like, I have to make it at least 50. So that's gonna suck, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this like very, very low level invasions here on Undead Settlement. So we can enjoy these areas as well, because I'm not gonna soon find anyone in here, probably. So I don't know if I can actually. I can try, but yeah, if you missed what happened there actually, I don't know what the hell happened with the Phantom's jump attack. Like, I'm sure he had finished his jump attack when I did my weapon art charge, but he kept on kind of sliding forward along the ground and actually hit me with it. With, I don't know fucking what reason, but yeah, it happens. And then I think the host finished me with the throwing knife in there, so good teamwork from them. But yeah, here I see host and his Phantom and get a nice plunge and finish off the Phantom. And here I actually die, but pay a close attention to how many souls I get from that Phantom. 500,000! 500,000! What the crap? And here I was thinking that invasions are not good way to farm souls in Dark Souls 3. Bullshit, I just got a fucking 500,000 souls in one crappy plunge attack. That was amazing. Like, I don't know how high level that Phantom needed to be for me to get granted 500,000 souls, but I take it. No objections here. I take those souls, every single one of those souls. So yeah, I have never gotten like not even close to that high amount. So I don't know what the hell was going on in there. I think those were friends playing together, and the host had summoned like a level 700, 800 like friend or something. There has to be like something like that. Because I could have killed him pretty fast. Well, I know I got a plunge on him, but still, it was pretty weird that the damage was so freaking damage. The soul amount that I got from that Phantom was so freaking high. But yeah, my souls are covered for the rest of the freaking well, this build making, what could I call it, playthrough. I'm going to have to get some pretty nasty rings, so maybe you're going to get a couple of blue invasions as well if I'm trying to get the Dark Moon ring. Because that demands like 10 proofs of conquered kept or something like that, but whatever it is the Blue Covenant is collecting, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get those if I want the Dark Moon ring. So maybe in the future PvP talk episode you're going to have to watch a little bit of blue invasions as well. I know I'm like a red in my heart, I'm a red invader. I don't actually dig the blue covenants, I kinda appreciate them being there, but I have never valued blue covenants as much as I value reds. Reds are the lone wolves, the nasty invaders, and yeah, I like the concept of blue Dark Moon plates, but I'm a red. At heart, I'm always red and have always been red, so yeah. But maybe I have to make an exception to get that ring. But we'll see what this build takes us. I haven't really actually thought about this build through. Like, I don't know really what to do with it. I'd try to get my fate close to 30 and then kind of balance out the kind of, well, health and stamina and all that kind of shenanigans. But I realized, as I told you before on this episode, I tried to get it on low level, but on faith I don't think it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen on like sub 50 at least. Unfortunate, but that's what it is. But at least there's some really cool invasion areas after level 50 that are really active, like Cathedral of the Deep works okay sometimes, on some times of the day. Catacombs of Carthus another good soul level 50 area to invade. Well, Smoldering Lake and Demon Ruins, fucking amazing area. And of course, Lothric Castle. So yeah, there's a lot of places you can invade on soul level 50 and still get a lot of action. So I'm not worried about taking this build to level 50. It's just going to limit some very, very early level areas. Or early game areas. But yeah, this was pretty interesting fight. It takes quite a bit of time actually for me to deal with these two guys in here. The host is not much of a challenge really, but his Phantom is a little bit more knowledgeable, I think, of the game. At least it seems like it. No mean to offend anyone, but that's how it is. And I wish I would have had time to... I maybe would have had time to actually repost there, but I was too scared to get hit by the axe because the freaking battle axe, it can hurt. It can seriously hurt. It can challenge the straight sword that I have too well in speed, but it can still hurt if it hits me, so I didn't want to take a risk in there and decided not to repost, even though I went for the kick initially. Here, I have kind of run out of like Ashen Estus and Estus Flasks, so I'm kind of puzzled here what to do. So I try to Lloyd's the host, in case I get some good chunk of damage on her or him. The Phantom takes the position, tries to hit me through the wall if I get out in there, which is not a bad idea. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you can hit people through the walls. Here I quickly swipe a couple of times to surprise them. And here I got too greedy, guys. I got too greedy. I wanted to style upon this victory. Here. I tried to get the recovery parry, but for some reason I fuck it up. And I look like a goddamn fool that had just got hit like 4 times in a row. But I just tried to style it. Like I cannot help myself sometimes. I try to style victory these things so I can look all cool and stuff. But yeah, sometimes it just like the shit falls on my head and just drips to the floor. But yeah, we are, I think, on the last invasion in this session. This was a little bit shorter one. I did a couple of more, but I kind of tried to calculate what would be kind of a half-hour mark for this episode. So I think it's a pretty good length for this kind of commentaries, half an hour. So this is probably a little bit less or just about half an hour commentary here. So I stayed a little bit longer, but I didn't record those. I wanted a good solid half an hour session gathered here. And this guy tries to parry me so bad, but as you know, I don't like to give free parries to people, so I do my all not to get parried. Well, especially by that freaking weapon. Like, I wanna know what level this guy is, the Phantom, for him to have like that kind of an endgame weapon. But that happens. As we saw there, I actually got 500,000 souls from one Phantom, so hey, who knows? But yeah, I wish I could get more action here on Undead Settlement on like a little bit higher levels, because this is an amazing area. I really like this area. One of the greatest level designs for sure. For sure, like not only for PvP but PvE as well. Large area, a lot of elevation and different like corners and a lot of stuff going on in here. Like all around great level design in my opinion. Here I take a little breather, try to bomb them because I know they're on the wall there. but eventually I am forced to make my way up there. I think the Astora's straight sword is going to be actually my weapon of choice for this build in the end game as well. Like, when this build is finished, I think this is gonna be, if not my main weapon, at least one of my weapons on this build. It's a straight sword, so as you know, straight swords are very flexible in both damage dealing and like with horizontal hitbox, pokes, everything basically, everything, guard breaks, and like straight swords are just really solid weapons. So I think that would work for my 50, so level 50 Fate build pretty well. I'm going to get the blessed weapon for it, so I can get that sweet health regen as well. Going to put my shield on blessed infusion and maybe use some replenishment. Maybe we could do like a semi-regen build from this. That would be kind of interesting. I haven't really decided on my spells yet, so I'm gonna see what I cook up. But I'm trying to do some stuff with force. I'm trying to use some lightning spear stuff, even though that's rather weak. But if I don't have any offensive faith miracles in there, what's the point? I like to try to use those as well. Let's see how I can actually make it work. But yeah. But I'm trying to cook up some stuff with force, probably replenishment, blessed weapon, and then some offensive spell on there. If I have 4 slots, I hope I can have 4 slots on this build. Attunement slots, but we'll see if the levels are... If I can manage with the levels, that is. Maybe I have to go for the 27... 27 vitality meta, or vigor meta. I'm not sure which one it is actually in this game. Is vigor the health, or... Yeah, vigor is the health in this game. The kind of Dark Souls 1 memory fucks me up a little bit with that, because vitality in Dark Souls 1 was the health, and in Dark Souls 2 it was the vigor was the health, vitality was equip load, I think. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's kind of confusing. But what I mean is 27 health, whatever that stat is. Here I make my way up, and here I decided, hey, I'm gonna go face to face with the host and parry his Y-hander, or whatever that ultra great sword is. I cannot really see from the preview, it's a little bit low quality for me. But unfortunately he starts lagging like motherfucker all of a sudden when I get to his place, and I need to scram out of there. Take the sweet heal. Unfortunately they get some hits on me. But no worries, the dogs keep them busy, and I'm able to make my breather in here. Go for these 2 dogs and heal myself again. I've managed this invasion so far pretty well, so I decided to buff my weapon, go all out. I'm gonna make this the last invasion, and I'm gonna take it no matter what. Just watch me. Here, another failed parry, so I decided, fuck it, I'm not gonna parry this, he's way too laggy for that. Visuals are not matching of what's actually happening on the screen, so yeah, no reason to try actually. But yeah, I was so confident on taking this invasion now, nothing can really stop me. I have a buffed weapon, I'm doing decent damage, I'm controlling the ground here, not getting myself parried, the host is fat rolling, so I know I can take it at this point. I'm really confident that I can take it, and then that happens. So thank you so much for watching, and take care. Fuck.